We rolled back more federal red tape than any administration in history. We fought for free and fair trade. We unleashed American energy. And in 3 short years, businesses created more than 7 million good-paying jobs, including 112,000 jobs right here in the state of Michigan. And wages were rising across the board in those first 3 years. And what meant the most to the President and me is that wages were rising most rapidly for hardworking blue-collar Americans. The forgotten men and women of America were forgotten no more. You know, when Joe Biden was vice president, America actually lost 200,000 manufacturing jobs. You know, I'm from just south of here in the Hoosier State. And just like Michigan, thank you for that. We don't get that often in football season. But you know, Indiana and Michigan are very much alike. I mean, we do 2 things really well. We make things and we grow things, right? And we market them to the world. But the last administration literally said, after losing 200,000 manufacturing jobs, they actually said those jobs were never coming back. The elites on the East Coast and on the left coast often talked about our part of the country as the Rust Belt. And there was a fair amount of rust on it when they were in charge, right? I mean, the last president actually said, when he was confronted with losing all those manufacturing jobs, he said, "What magic wand do you have?" We didn't need a magic wand. We just needed President Donald Trump in the White House. 500,000 manufacturing jobs created in our first 3 years, including 17,000 right here in the Wolverine State. Manufacturing came roaring back. Really did, with less taxes, less regulation, fighting for free and fair trade that put American jobs and American workers first. And here, not too far from Motor City, the automotive industry is roaring back in Michigan and all across America. I mean, right here, General Motors announced they're adding 400 jobs in Oakland County. Fiat Chrysler is already building a $1.6 billion new assembly plant that will create more than 6,000 jobs in Detroit. And maybe best of all, last year GM announced that they're investing $150 million in their assembly plant right here in Flint, Michigan. And you know, that's all a result of cutting those taxes and rolling back red tape, but it also has a lot to do with trade. You know, when we took office, half of our international trade deficit was with communist China. It's true. $500 billion a year we were losing in trade with China. And Joe Biden, he's been a cheerleader for communist China all along the way. He said that the rise of China was a positive development. He did. And he also scoffed last year as a candidate at the very idea that China was a competition to the United States. But President Donald Trump, he put China on notice. We said the era of economic surrender is over. We imposed tariffs on China's goods into the United States, and we're going to keep standing strong until they open their markets to U.S. goods and U.S. agriculture and respect private property rights of Americans. And you all remember NAFTA out here in the heartland. In the 25 years after NAFTA was signed into law, we literally saw, you have to almost check this because it doesn't even sound right, but 60,000 factories closed in the United States. And many of those jobs went south of the border to Mexico or far overseas. Now, Democrats for years, like Joe Biden, love to complain about NAFTA. But Joe Biden never lifted a finger to reform it or to fix what was wrong with it. But after Michigan voted for the man who wrote The Art of the Deal, Michigan and America got a way better deal. NAFTA is gone, and the USMCA is here to stay. I mean, the truth is, the USMCA, I don't know if you knew about this. I mean, under NAFTA, there were these, it might have been unintentional. I don't even know. I wasn't around back then. But there was kind of these perverse incentives to actually move manufacturing out of the country. But under the USMCA, 75% of all auto parts in duty-free cars have to be made in North America, and 40% of the parts have to be made by workers who make the average hourly wage of workers in the United States of America. We have taken the incentive away to move jobs out of the United States. It's a win for workers in Michigan and a win for workers all across America. It is. I'm with her. I'm not surprised a lady wearing a UAW sweatshirt started cheering for the USMCA. I'm telling you what, it's a win for auto workers, and you know it. Thank you. Now, you all in Michigan deserve to know that Kamala Harris was one of only 10 senators to vote against the USMCA. You know, she and I had a little bit of a debate over in Salt Lake City a couple of weeks ago. Thank you. And I tried to call her out on a lot of issues, but, you know, the truth is she said she voted against there's only 10 senators that voted against it. I mean, 90 senators in Washington don't agree on anything, but they did on the USMCA. But Kamala Harris, who was rated last year as the most liberal member of the United States Senate, actually voted against the USMCA because she said it didn't go far enough on climate change. I mean, you all deserve to know here in Michigan that Joe Biden's running mate put her radical environmental agenda ahead of Michigan jobs and Michigan auto workers. But I promise you, under President Donald Trump, we are always going to put American jobs and American workers first. And then you got energy, plays such an important role, drives prosperity in Michigan and all across the heartland in this country. And I know you've heard it. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris over the last year have repeatedly said that they want to ban fracking and abolish fossil fuels. I mean, Joe Biden actually said in a presidential debate the other night, and how good was President Trump in that presidential debate, am I right? It was a great night, wasn't it? Anyway, Joe Biden, you get to the end of the debate, about 90 minutes if you're still up. And they start talking about energy, and Joe Biden actually said that America needs to transition from the oil industry. I mean, the president just said, that's a big statement. And boy, was it. You know, I mean, according to a 2017 study by a non-political group, the oil and gas industry supports 160,000 jobs right here in Michigan. And they're talking about whatever they're saying right now, go back. It's like, you know, honestly, Joe Biden said, show the tape. So we've been showing the tape. Pretty easy to find. Just get your phone out and look at it. They're going to ban fracking. They want to abolish fossil fuels. But President Donald Trump has been a champion for American energy and American energy independence.